I understand the European Union position. Our leaving the Union and our taking our money out of the budget, effectively, is going to leave them with a massive hole in that budget, and they want to mitigate that as much as possible. I understand that, but on the other hand, there is absolutely no legal justification.
So pay them a divorce bill then?
Well, there's absolutely no legal justification for doing so. And so instead of playing hardball with us, which they are, they ought to be compromising somewhat, which they don't seem to be keen to do.
Your party has previously said that we shouldn't be contributing anything into the EU after we've left.
Correct.
But we do know that there are science projects, some security matters that it seems that everyone is agreed would be beneficial to the UK. Surely you have to pay in something in order to benefit from that.
But that payment, if we are going to, for example, if the European Union and a Great Britain outside the European Union want to collaborate on a science project, a space project, for example, then we can make a separate agreement to work that as we wish.
The point is, you want access, so surely that access has to come at some sort of price.
You mean access to the single market?
Well, and also to these projects, these science projects and everything else that the EU already provide. But why do we need to do some sort of deal outside this? The EU would argue, well, we've got a model, why don't you pay in? And
because it's the EU that is dictating to the rest of us exactly what that project is going to be, what its shape is. This isn't a discussion and a debate. The EU will decide on projects, on science, on education, on climate. The EU decides. We do not. At the moment, we don't have a voice in that. Effectively, there is zero influence.
We do have a voice at the moment because we're a member of the European
Union.
Right,
but it's qualified voting, and if the UK stands up and says, well, no, we don't want to do this, then there's a political price to pay within the European Union for that.
Welsh farmers are particularly worried at the moment in terms of potential tariffs on that no-deal scenario.
Yes.
What crumbs of comfort can those farmers have in a no-deal scenario?
One of the potential upsides for leaving the European Union is that at the moment the European Union, with its protectionist tariffs on agricultural produce, raises about 17% on the average family shopping bill. Now, of course, that 17% then goes to subsidise farmers. It protects them against a competition from abroad. So,
but 40% of Welsh exports head to the continent.
Right.
So, in a no-deal scenario, what happens to them?
Well, I would suggest they should still go to the continent. The demand is still there. The only people, the only people that would apply that tariff is the European Union. They don't have to. They can. It's rather like the Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland border.
Of course they're going to apply the tariff.
Well, that's up to them. It's their decision.
Can I turn to the Welsh party, to UKIP here in Wales? You're a group of 5 in the Assembly, and one sits as an independent in Nathan Gill. Have you spoken to Nathan Gill since?
Yes, a couple of times. Yes.
And have you managed to persuade him to come back into the fold?
I'm not going to share the nature and the content of those conversations with you. That's a matter for Nathan and myself. But I've said a couple of times and already publicly that it's an untidy situation when we have a UKIP MEP who is sitting in the Welsh Assembly as an independent.
Is it a sustainable situation, though?
No.
So in the long term, something has to change, basically?
I would say short to medium term.
And finally, most party leaders sit in Westminster, or in our case in the Assembly, or maybe an MEP. You don't do any of those jobs. Who's paying you as a
Nobody.
leader? Nobody? Are the parties in paying you?
No. So not at the moment. I'm hoping that's going to...
How on earth are you funding your permanent job, I take it, as leader?
I'm rapidly running out of savings. And if it needs to be the case, and I've said this before, then we'll sell our home.
You'd sell your home for UKIP?
Well, not for UKIP. Why did I put myself up for the leadership of this party? It's because I believe deeply that the future of the United Kingdom rests in positive but strong leadership. And at the moment, I don't see that on offer anywhere. My wife has a job and she's working and she's able to support herself and the children and so on. But it's a massive hit for us if indeed we have to do that. But it's one of those things, I've served my country all my life and I'm going to continue doing it.